I am definitely. Well, fuck. I don't want the chicken man shit on me. I'm just gonna let you eat.
That's what I would do. If I were you, I'd be like, you know.
I'm not the fucking chicken man. That's racist. You can't call me the chicken man.
You think you'd be the first black chicken man called the chicken man by other black people?
I don't know. It just feels different right now. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Did you see the limited series with Kevin Hart and Samuel L. Jackson where they were playing? It was a true story about this guy in Atlanta that had thrown a big party on the fight.
The fight night. Yeah. I didn't see it all. My boy was supposed to be.
See, that's
in
where
it,
you
man.
messed up at. Because guess what Kevin Hart's character's name was?
Fuck, don't say chicken man.
Chicken man.
Fuck. I want to be chicken man. This is just like. I don't know, bro. This is terrible.
No, I don't.
I feel like I'm getting typecast. I didn't even fucking blow up yet. This is terrible.
Start with a brand, maintain a brand.
Oh my god.
But what if it's chicken man? I don't want to maintain that fucking.
Why not?
brand.
You don't like chicken? What do you have against
No,
chicken?
it's everywhere I go. It's not just here. It's just everywhere I go. Even when I'm doing the Bob Curry thing,
Say
I'm
that
always
again?
some fucking crazy ass character.
Well, I don't think Chicken Man is a crazy character.
That's a fucking terrible character.
All right, I mean, I'm sorry.
Chicken man is
He
terrible.
seems upset. You think he's upset? I didn't mean to upset you.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
Have you checked your chicken levels? Perhaps they're low. I'm just saying that's how my son act when his chicken levels is low. Give him a couple nuggies, he good.
I don't want fucking nuggies, although.
Nuggies and tendies.
Little nuggies, little
You
titties.
know,
All right, so y'all gonna act like the tendies don't be busting. All right,
The
fuck.
hoops
We just
don't
doing
be
this
what?
thing.
No, it's nuggets over tenders. It's nuggies. It's
absolutely
nuggies over tendies.
Yeah,
No way you going
It
nuggie
is
over tendies.
nuggies over
Absolutely.
tendies for sure.
No way. No
For
way y'all going
sure.
nuggie over
Yeah,
tendies.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yo.
Bro, I get strips every day.
Tendies?
I get strips every day,
Strips is tendies.
but I cut them into nuggies.
Yes.
Bro, that's like an
That's
Italian
expert.
person watching you break pasta. What the fuck
First
are
of
you
all,
doing?
the Italians tried to conquer Ethiopia twice and got repelled. So fuck 'em.
Why
That's
did
what
we
they watch.
chip
I beat
into
that
that?
ass.
We was going food.
You did it, and we make better pastas than them. Fuck
Shout out
them.
to Ethiopia for being the
Shout
only
out to every
African
Ethiopian
country to
aunt
never
who makes
be.
better lasagna.
Wait,
than
what?
you. Oh.
We've moved from chicken to pasta.
To colonialism.
That's what I'm saying. I love fried chicken. That's something I think
Chicken
that
oven dishes.
the Africans did really well. They were like, y'all gonna give us that? Bet. Fry that shit. Wow. That shit's delicious.
Welcome back to Beyond Bars.
Welcome back to Beyond Bars. Speaking of which, High on the Hog. Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Yes.
We'll talk. That's really good.
Really
It's a
good.
really good.
Really
yeah.
good content.
All right. Anywho, yes, Beyond Bars.
Welcome
Fried
back
chicken.
to Beyond Bars. Happy New Year. Thank you for your patience and us returning.
We didn't know if we would be back, if we're being honest, people. A lot happened with 2 murders. Kyrie got locked up, and Catherine and I went down to bail him out. And they said that he wasn't there anymore and that they couldn't find record of him. And it's because I made this all up. How you feeling, bro?
I would have corroborated it.
We were ready.
I was like, nah.
Kyrie was like, I don't want to be the guy that was locked up.
I was going to yes and it. Just off nature, I was going to say that my alias was
Shout out
Chicken
Bob
Man.
See what I'm saying? Bob Curry Fellowship working.
Yeah.
No, it's making my brain chicken meat. It's
Second
fucking
City Gold.
Chicken Man. I don't think it's a bad nickname. That's all
I
I'm saying.
refuse to allow. What the?
All I'm saying, I'm not saying that you are the Chicken Man, but I'm saying if you were to be the Chicken Man, it's not a bad thing. That's all I'm saying. Like if somebody was like, "Yo, Kyrie, which Kyrie? The one who know all the chicken spots?"
No, I don't want to fucking be the chicken. Know how?
Quick question: do you know all the chicken spots?
I refuse. I plead the fifth. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth. I plead that shit. Oh my god.
Right.
I don't know if it's more obese or racist, but I don't like it.
All right, man. I
Fuck!
I
Don't
just wanted
you
to
drink
have-
your cup and look like that.
I was just watching the. Do you guys watch what we do in the dark? What we do in the
No.
shadows? It was the vampire show. You know what I'm talking about?
Sound
No, I've heard
freaky.
it's good though.
It's pretty good. One of the things that happened in the final season, it's not going to be a spoiler if you watch it. One of the things that happened in the final season is one of the characters started working in the office, and he was trying to figure out what his office personality is. And I'm just saying, Kyrie's office personality is if you like, yo, I'm hungry, anybody got any food wrecks, and he can name off 5 really good spots that
Chicken
have.
Man.
This is chicken. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
TM. You never know what this could do for you.
You never know. You could get shirts and everything. Son. You could
Okay.
get merch. You could draw a rooster on the top of your joint. You could say cock and nobody will think you being a
Whoa.
pervert. See what I'm saying?
Whoa.
See what I'm saying?
Now you're speaking his language.
He was like, I didn't consider that. You did look like you were like, whoa,
Because it's like it's sick,
whoa.
but
Now
like
that you say that though, that is it's a perky perk.
yeah,
That's a perk
you
note.
play around with it
Yeah,
if you season it right. I just
You made a chicken joke. I'm just saying, it's right there. It's right
It's
there.
available.
hey, how are y'all doing for New Year's? Any resolutions and stuff? How y'all feeling?
Nah, I resolved to try to get a little bit better every day, but I did that before the New Year. I don't like resolutions because it always makes me feel like I'm negotiating with myself. And if it's something I really want to do, I have to make it non-negotiable for me to actually do it. So, like, even the idea of, oh, I have a New Year's resolution. Well, you're not going to be shit between now and New Year's? Like, when did you just, if you know it's something that needs to be done, why would you wait till New Year? So I'm not saying that people are wrong that have them. I'm saying the way my brain is wired, if I do that, my brain is going to think that I'm negotiating with myself, and it won't work.
I feel that. What about you, KG?
I thought of one today because I'm taking a little booze break, and I think maybe for the year, regardless of what I decide to do, I'm gonna stick with no hangovers.
That's
like,
a dope deal.
if I do drink, right, there shouldn't be, and there's like I don't need to be doing that at least until asterisk at least until this podcast has money. My
We can't
series is
afford it.
out, written, and released. Those may be two things, and maybe I've blocked another like stand-up income coming in. Like I don't deserve to have hangover, so that's where I'm
You don't
at.
deserve a hangover. It's gangster. He's like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna be
Crazy.
honest with you.
That's
I don't
where
feel like
I'm
I
at.
deserve a hangover.
But I do. Money is coming into this podcast. We are growing it. We'll talk about it more this episode, but what our plans are for 2025. And I'm seeing it more as like plans, and then that is just like a piece of it that is going to continue to facilitate the rest.
Hey man,
What about
I
you?
think y'all sound amazing. You can say what you. I'm gonna just catch up on what you got to say when I come back from getting my chicken.
You said you were going to
It's
go
a
get some
moment.
chicken?
Yeah, man.
This is it's an opportunity.
Um,
Trying to help you out.
I think this year among the shit on resolutions, so that's nice.
Well, I just named some. Mine are good.
Yeah, yours
You
are
know,
solid.
I think it works for people or it doesn't. And mine aren't like resolutions. They're just changes that I want to make. I'm going to break them, you know.
I am changing, and I don't feel confident to say what I want other than like just personal changes. Like I don't know. Like I've never written this much. I've never been in so many writing rooms for so many hours. I've never been going through so much laborious things while also maintaining so many life changes. I feel detached but connected to my journey in the most weirdest way. And so if because I don't know. Like I said, I'm so disconnected, but so connected because I'm all in. I have no choice but to be all in. It's all I have. I don't want physical things because I know they're coming. It's just a part of the abundance and the ether that I tap in. But in terms of the things that come about, I'm just hoping that I can keep my some type of sanity, some type of sound mind. Even if for whatever reason I become a different person, I hope that I don't become too darker or too less kind or not as nice. I don't know. I'm just really hoping and rooting for myself to not lose myself. So that's the thing. Like, and I don't know how to do that. I'm hoping I'm going to go about it in a holistic way and not a toxic or unhealthy way. But yeah, that's my New Year's resolution, is just to find ways to maintain not losing myself in the midst of all of the stuff. Fuck, that sounds amazing.
That sounds is perfectly timed, right? I walked.
It was actually a really
Yeah.
good time.
That's what's up.
It's as if you
Go
brought
right
the
back.
chicken back to me.
I mean, I feel like there's one of those type sounding rods. Like once you hold the Kyrie up, the chicken is gonna come.
Whoa! What the fuck? Which community is going to defend me, the blacks or the fat people? Like, what the fuck? Come help.
Both of them are like, what's the problem with the chicken? Like, why you don't like chicken?
Because he's
how you beefing with chicken?
fucking branding me as the chicken man right before
I'm
y'all
not branding
eyes.
you as the chicken man. I'm just saying that you are very useful to the community as a person who knows where the best chicken is.
This is how Monk exercises his anger.
Look at Catherine. See what happens when you go to too much
I can
therapy.
be-
You start seeing other people's. I told my wife one time that when I'm uncomfortable, I'm funny. When I'm angry, I try to get funny quick, because if I don't, then I just start being a dick. Nobody wants that. How you doing? It's good to be here with you people.
So today, I think we can talk about a couple of things. I think we obviously want to talk about what's going on in LA and the 900 plus incarcerated firefighters that are contributing to public safety. I think we probably should mention that we have a official convicted felon swearing in 8 days.
Bitch ass.
And I think we should probably put out.
That's gotta be enough. Bitch ass. We need that as a sound.
Yeah.
So every time
Soundboard.
we say
like
his
that.
name, it's bitch ass.
Oh my.
Also, unrelated, I did the 3-shot thing. And remember you said that you had a sip of his?
I don't even know how many are in
One?
Kyrie's.
His are 3. I asked the
Okay.
lady because I wanted to see how badly he would be doing by the end of one of these episodes. What I didn't remember to do is to tell my brain to drink slowly, because I don't know, I don't sip. If y'all have ever seen me drink any beverage, it's always like really quick. If a liter of water, I might drink out of it 3 times and it's done. I just don't know how to sip. So we've been back since the beginning of the pod, right? This is pretty much empty. I'm saying
That was a tray ball or the 4-way?
it's 3. I couldn't do the 4.
I do the 4 ball, bro.
Well, you know, I'm a family man, so you know we don't want me dancing on the table with my nips out. You know what I mean? Come on. But yeah, I'm
Nips,
saying that to
nips.
say my nips.
Nips,
You know?
nips, and nuggies.
Yeah, nips, nuggies, and tendies.
Going back to the firefighters.
Well, coming back. So yeah, so I was just saying that to say that if anything that I say for the remainder of the pod seems a little different, shout out to the pair. Mm-mm.
What we are going to do this year, I guess, before we come back to news, we may as well say this up top, is what we're looking at for those interested is moving to 2 times a week filming, or 2 times a week dropping episodes, by the way, of doing a guest story as we've had our guest interviews for the first hour that we record and the second hour that we record consuming of a particular either cannabis brand, company, sponsored product, and doing the second hour, I guess, a little more like this.
Since we don't have a guest, consider this number 2. But yes, I do think that maybe we should also consider a food thing to go with, because if we're gonna smoke or do edibles while we're here, and then we're gonna try and record, we're gonna be hungry.
Yeah.
So
if
hey, dog,
you
stop
if you
staring
know,
my fucking chicken sandwich, chicken man.
I feel like the chicken sandwich is the fucking guest. What do you want from
Yeah,
me? Get the
I feel
chicken
it.
sandwich, a mic, and some headphones. Tell us about how you got here, bro. Like,
wow, this food porn for real. Y'all really just gonna sit here and watch this man eat me? That's crazy. Y'all just that ass. Y'all just gonna sit here and watch son eat me right in front of everybody.
Answer the real questions. Is it a potato bun or not?
It's a brioche. But what I'm trying to say, brioche, something none but the finest for me. Yo, it's a chicken sandwich from
Toasted
Brooklyn.
brioche is actually top tier.
It's a Brooklyn chicken sandwich. It's very angry. So why you asking, son? What you worried about it for?
The chicken sandwich got an authoritarian.
Your size, son. What? Why you being?
Why is DMX in this chicken sandwich?
I don't even like mayo. I don't know why you got mayo on me, son. Probably because Catherine here. He trying to pander to Catherine, put mayo on the sandwich. Yo, we don't even eat sandwiches like that, son.
He gentrified and then put aioli on that motherfucker.
Sandwich a little xenophobic. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sandwich is like very upset about mayo. Unnecessary.
I'm not high today, but I'm now regretting that decision. So
I am interested in talking about the firefighters though, because that I do think that is a really
yes.
interesting story coming out. Like I watched this one reporter who actually visited where they were like doing, because the hours they're doing right now is either 12 on, 12 off, or 24 on, 24 off, which is crazy for any fucking job or career. Stand-ups come and do 15, 30, 45 or an hour. What the fuck do you mean 24 on and
Well, let's not compare it to our job.
anything.
Nurses work 12-hour shifts, right?
Still,
yeah. 8 hours.
Whoa.
12, yeah. Oh, 100%. But I'm saying compared
Yeah.
to like upholding of public
Because-
safety, doctors, nurses, it's still insane.
Because
making-
no other, I wouldn't say that any other first responder in that situation is doing 24 fighting fires and then 24 still incarcerated and then coming back and doing 24 fighting fucking fires.
Yeah. So I think some of the things that point out, so I went, because I've been following the story for a minute, and for those of you that are not, LA fires, as of Sunday, right, 40,000 acres of LA has been destroyed, 40,000. And to put that in perspective, for those of you that are not aware, the Chicago fire was 2,000 acres. 2,000 acres. Of course, it was urban, many more deaths thus far, certainly a deadlier fire, but like capacity, that's not the word that I'm talking about. Scale is unmatched in how
And
big
the
this
speed.
fire is.
I want to talk about
Scale
the
and
speed, too, because
yeah.
yesterday I was at the barbershop. They were at 22,000 acres have been destroyed. So
Yeah.
it's another 18,000 have been destroyed since yesterday at 2 o'clock.
Yes, which directly relates to how many incarcerated firefighters that they brought on board. On Wednesday, it was under 400. Thursday, 700. By Friday, there was 939 firefighters that were recorded by time. So, of course, we're at least over 1,000 by now. Through both the California Fire Department, California, of course, Department of Corrections, and then the specific like fire camps that they call Conservation Fire Camp Program, utilizing incarcerated folks through camps to fight these fires. So what I have also gleaned from the internet per people, especially, a couple people are talking about this very loudly, of course. Kim Kardashian is talking about it. And especially their pay at $5 to $10 a day. $5 to $10 a day, not $5 to $10 an hour, $5 to $10 a day. They get paid an additional $1 an hour if it's an emergency. But of course, since it's an emergency, we actually utilize the incarcerated folks. So they are four times, I think, as likely to get physically injured, and 8 times as likely to be injured through like smoke inhalation, because they're utilized most often during emergencies. So compared to the $85,000 salary that a LA firefighter makes, these guys are making $5 to $10 a day, and then do have the opportunity to have their records expunged after release. And they also have the opportunity to get, wait for it, 2 days off their sentence for every 1 day they fought a fire. If they are active firefighters, and if they are support staff, they get 1 day per one. It's 1 to 1. 2 days off their sentencing. So like the expungement is something new. I think Newsom did. This is like obviously a progressive type reform, but the fact but I mean, I'm not going to say it's nothing. Yeah, the fact that they can have their records expunged, but then they fucking sit back and fight the largest fire the state has ever seen, and then return to your cell with 2 days off your sentence per 1 day that you were out, risking your life for public safety. These are individuals that we deem not safe to be in the public, supporting public safety more than how many millionaires and billionaires are there in California?
They're not
how many
guaranteed a
people
job
are there
when
in
they
California?
release.
You can't be a firefighter with a felony, so they have to expunge the records just to give them an opportunity to get a job.
Which they
because
did.
If they don't expunge the record, the person who had fought fires and risked their lives cannot be a firefighter. In a lot of states, there's some that let you do anything. Because, I mean, at this point, I would sue.
Yeah. The president.
If you told me I couldn't do your job because I was a security risk, because I had a felony, because I would then say the motherfucker with the nuclear codes has a felony.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what I would love to see. Like, not that she's taking my opinion, but if Kim Kardashian is really like in law school, is really about this life, like if she retains her actual law degree and becomes a practicing lawyer in the state of California, this is where her attention should go. She has the public support. She has the will have actually the legal chops to be able to do it ostensibly. Like, sue somebody. Get someone in your family to sue somebody. That's the other piece of this that's like, thank you for putting public eye on it, and maybe you want to be the one to have that legislation and have that clout, but like, why the fuck wouldn't you have a lawyer You know, like get somebody else on this. So.
Yeah, and I can't find the exact words to articulate why it's wrong, but especially it just doesn't sit right with me to send people who have been judged by a system that we know is wrong or biased or flawed. We send them into burning situations for them to fight for freedom when we already know that the system was already stacked against them. And then we knock a couple of days off their sentence after they fight some of the craziest fires that we've ever seen, and then reincarcerate them right after, and then expose them right back to the system that sent them right back. It's
a literal couple of days.
I can't find the type of words for the type of evil it is, but it makes my spirit uneasy.
It's also stupid. It's stupid because the guys that actually get out and then go through some of these programs, by the way, this guy like Royal Ramey, who's a TED fellow and is doing this, I think it's called Forest Fire Recruitment is his organization. He was formerly incarcerated, then became a firefighter. So he's like moving people through this system. His recidivism rate for people that have gone through this program is 10% compared to California's, which is 41, which by the way, compared to Cook County's,
ain't like 80 or
yeah,
some shit.
Cook County is 80. So California's is half.
You
of
ain't
Cook
know that it
County.
was 80 ball?
Yeah.
It's not even a real. That's why you let motherfuckers go.
Right.
That's why they don't. Oh wait, that wasn't funny. Fuck, they really don't.
But by the way, programs like this, like not to tout necessarily prison yoga and what we're doing here in Chicago, like I've never seen the same face twice.
Shit.
Putting people through programs and giving them opportunities to like see opportunity in their lives among many fucking other things, including earn money so that crime actually is reduced, is a huge thing. So it's stupid. It does not work to put people back behind bars, especially after they demonstrated that they deserve to not be.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just something about, like, because I'm looking at the faces of those people and I'm like, hey, how many of these people are here for like non-violent crimes? How many people are in here like risking their life because they was risking their life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just risked my life to risk my life to risk my life. Just fuck, is life really that fucking good? I don't know. To risk it 3 times over, like.
And I understand, like, serving to a degree a sentence, right? So I saw some people commenting on this that were like, how about we give money and opportunities to their victims first? Like, I understand, like, you know, Monk, you talked about this when you first came on the pod, like, you can go to a degree to apologize, to make amends, to act a better person. That doesn't necessarily mean everyone's going to see you the kind of way based on maybe their personal experience with you. We've all experienced that, whether incarcerated or not. Like, there are people in my life that probably won't fuck with me again and deserve that opportunity to not speak to me, and vice versa. Like, I had people like that too. However, outside of the carceral system, people can make those choices. Like, when you put people back in the carceral system, that removes that opportunity to even attempt to make those amends and move forward. But I'd be curious, like, what do you think about people saying, like, well, why don't their victims get that opportunity? And
it's bullshit. It's situational bullshit. They don't sing the same tune when other people do certain crimes. They sing a certain tune when the criminal looks a certain way.
It's not just that either. It's the idea that if you were concerned about the victims, how come we never hear about you until you see that the person who did it was doing? You know what the best thing you can do for a victim is? Make sure that the person who did that to them never does that again. And so when you rehabilitate someone and they actually are rehabilitated and they feel remorse for what they've done and they try to turn their lives around, that also is a gift to the victim. This idea that once a person has done harm, that they are forever irredeemable is the least American thing you've ever heard. It's the least human thing. And even Chief Justice Rehnquist a long time ago in the 80s said to deny man the capacity to change is to deny him his humanity. And I think that's the whole point of life, right? You get kids, you teach them. They continue to learn, they continue to grow, they continue to do better. Somehow, criminals are stunted and treated like their growth has been retarded at the point that they committed the crime. They don't have the opportunity to grow anymore. And that, you know, and again, it harms the criminal, of course. It harms the victim as well, in my opinion, to not give the person who harmed them an opportunity to be better. But it also harms society because there's a lot of talent locked up behind those doors. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of quality human beings who made a bad decision. We talked about the idea that if you have an addiction, if there's an amount of poverty, if you have children that you need to feed and you've lost the job through illness, like, let's talk about illness. It cost me $5,000 to get a procedure that every man over 50 has to get. It cost me $5,000 out of pocket
Wait, what?
To get
After the copay? Wait, how did, what?
Well, no copay. There's because everything has a deductible now. I used to have
I'm
zero
$7,000 out
deductible.
for my surgery last year.
Right. I used to have
Have
zero
insurance.
deductible insurance,
Yeah.
right? That almost doesn't exist anymore. For you to get zero deductible insurance, you maybe in the C-suite. I can't say I've not been in the C-suite, but every other job, people have to pay a deductible before the insurance even starts to kick in. So consider that there are people who are moved by poverty because morality starts to shift when your kids are starving.
Oh, God.
And you can tell me whatever you want to tell me.
That's
Well,
real
go
shit.
get a job. Okay, but you know that unemployment still exists. And even if I get a job right now, how does that feed my kid tonight? Well, you shouldn't have. Okay, you shouldn't have, wouldn't have, couldn't have forever in a day. But what the reality is I did. So you saying I should have let my child starve as opposed to risking. I'm going to risk jail every time. I'm going to take a chance every time to save my kid. And I'm not saying that everybody locked up is doing that, but what I'm saying is we keep painting everything with this broad, they must have done something horrible or they wouldn't be there, when that's not what the system says. The system says the majority of the people there are there for nonviolent crimes. There are also a shit ton of people in there for victimless crimes, right? Let's talk about that, where the victim is a society has decided through whatever morality they have that you can't do that.
That's what bothered me most about that comment, by the way, is that was obviously from someone in my personal and correct opinion, that is not a victim. Because like I've been robbed, I've been grabbed in the middle of the street, and I would have the same response, which is like what my preferred response for that person is to help them with whatever the fuck they're going through that put them in that position. And that's not like a righteous thing that I'm saying. It's not like a holy thing that I'm saying. It's like something is fucked up in that person that they felt like they needed to grab me. We need some mental health treatment, or they need to be in a mental health facility or whatever the fuck. And
It
then
turns out
robbery,
they talk
right? Like you
about-
gotta.
But you only get the mental health facility part if you look a certain way, and that's what we've seen more and more and more and more. Even when it got to Luigi Mangione, they had to start trying to other a white Italian man. Like they had, like all of a sudden now, he's Italian though. He's not like like white. He's like Italian. You know what I mean?
It's the other white meat, the other nuggie.
That's the other nuggie, the other white nuggie. But that's what happened. Like, think about this. If it was a, if it
I
was
don't
a
like the
black
word
guy-
nuggie coming out of my mouth. I'll say it. I don't like the word
Like,
nuggie
you know
coming
what?
out of my mouth.
You know what? Now that I said
I
it,
do love a nuggie, but
I like a nuggie, but
really
I don't
like
know
to
that I think we should
really
yeah.
like to leave it to chicken.
That's my other least favorite thing is in like association football soccer they call a small injury, the British call it a niggle.
What the fuck you call it?
Yeah. So he's like, oh, he's out, but I hope it's just a little niggle. And I'm like, nah, man. First time I heard that, I was like, I don't feel good about any of this.
And I love it.
These niggas playing too much. And then it got
Where
weird.
all my real niggas at?
My real niggas. Wrap it up. Yeah, you a real nigga. Wrap yourself with an ace bandage. What? Thank y'all for that. Man, that was good. That felt good. Yeah,
Anyway,
but
that comment reminded me of the
but you're
reporter that ran up on Newsom. I'm sure we all saw this too, and was like, "Let me be on the phone while you're on the president," which the caucasity of this person.
Okay.
Like an acting governor. I understand. Some people are like, "Oh, you're just like mad." She should be able. She was she was a conservative news reporter. It came out later that was obviously trying to get him in some gotcha moment. But regardless, even if that was an innocent civilian, like the actual caucasity to run up to a governor and be like, "Put me on the phone with the president."
Crazy.
Ma'am,
Like-
I can't even call directly to the president. You think I
Because
can
if that
put you-
person had been black, there would have been a harassment case, and they'd be also fighting fires from behind bars.
There's a presumption of innocence that we don't get. Right? There's the opportunity to grow that we don't get. There's the Dylan Roof was just a misguided kid.
until proven
Right.
guilty.
And even once
Yeah.
proven guilty, there's a search for why this person would do this, because clearly that's not in our character, right?
Oh, what? The neighbors said that he was just a quiet, lost
But
child.
then you find a Tamir Rice, and they do the exact opposite. They find all of the reasons that this person who's never been convicted of anything, this 12-year-old child, should have been treated like an adult and ignored his life, the value of his life ignored. So I'm not talking about racism and the you didn't give me enough money for my house. I'm talking about the inherent goodness assumed of white perpetrators that does not exist even for black victims. And so when you see these criminals and you see what they look like, 80% of them are black and brown, and you hear those comments, maybe the comment is sincerely from a place of harm. They've been hurt themselves, they've been victimized, and they feel awful. But it seems like you only find this irredeemable quality in one or two groups of people, and it's never straight white men.
Yeah, I used to have a bit where I worked in like the white or wrong, and I thought, I was like, this is brilliant. And then someone was like, no, everyone has fucking said this beginning of time. I don't know why you think you're the pen of the year, but so I immediately removed it because obviously I was like,
I would have hurt my feelings. I might have punched him. I don't handle that type of stress well. That's a known. Why do you think I don't go outside often?
I just thought
Punched
you
who?
were being a family man.
Anybody. Fucking tell me my joke is not new, I'll beat your ass.
oh, them, yeah. No, it was a friend. They were saying it as like, hey, I don't know that, but. Well, they were trying to, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, no, I actually appreciate, sometimes somebody's got to tell you. I see a lot of people running around with other people's jokes, and people just like look, people just look the other way, and I think it would just be much more helpful. I don't think people are, I don't think people are ill-intentioned. I think some people are ill-intentioned, and I think I do think a lot of stand-ups are so selfish that we start to like put blinders on. Truly, I think we are probably some of the most selfish people on the planet.
Bunch of softies.
However, I do think we also think we're brilliant, and so a lot of people think they come up with material that maybe they've heard or simply they actually experienced as well. But like I had a joke about polyamorous people a couple years ago that I just like completely forgot about and rid, and then Toomey's new bit is so good and so funny on it, and it's a similar premise. Like, I don't ever need to bring that back. And also, we had a similar idea, like that exists, but to have someone more tenured than you, like,
Right about a joke.
Yeah, like a very good friend of mine has one of my favorite jokes, and another comic, like, I think someone should say something. Maybe I should say something now that I'm saying this out loud. But they seem cool with each other. Maybe they've talked about it. That's kind of like none of my business. But I think if it's like your really close friend and you hear them repeat something, or like, hey, did you know that even like this has been on Comedy Central before? Like, stop working on the bit. Like, save somebody some fucking time. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Because Dave Hellum has a joke where he took one of his white friends to a rally. Like a Black Lives Matter rally. And so his white friend was so moved by the rally that he invited Dave to one of their rallies, one of their people's rallies. And it was an anti-gluten rally. And so he pulls up and everybody's got these, bread signs, no wheat, no peace, and all this. Very funny joke. Jokes about the different things that are being protested by black and white people. And it just so happens that gluten rally was the purpose of it. I have a joke where the punchline is 90% of white people were killed by who? And the punchline is gluten. The jokes aren't structurally similar. There's not a similar premise. The only thing similar is he says gluten rally and I say gluten. Both of us use the word gluten. We don't use them similarly. Multiple people have gone to him and told him that I took his joke. And so you know,
which is also, again, that's not at all what the fuck I'm saying.
right. Which is what my point is.
Like, that's shady rat shit.
Right, but that's my point. I think that's why a lot of people hesitate to say something because they don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, did they take a joke or did they take? Am I overreacting? Like, you know what I mean? People second guess and third guess themselves, and then the person catches the person doing the joke is like, "Hey man, that's my fucking joke." You're like, "Damn it, I knew it. I should have said something. I could have prevented this." So you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it's very, very specific in a very tight knit circle. Because I mean, to your point about beating somebody's, I guess if someone completely stranger came up to me and said some shit, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Right. Like, I don't know your intentions behind this. I don't know if you're right or wrong or whatever, or white or wrong. I don't know if you're. I do not know, but I do think I think there are like 2 or 3 people that could say something to me. Maybe 2 in this room, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, thank you for letting me know."
It's like 3 people,
right?
and 2 of them are here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't tell Kyrie if I saw him steal someone's joke. I would tell the person whose joke he stole that Kyrie
me, obviously.
Right. I'd be like, Catherine, we should go watch
Steph Curry eating ass. That's all my material.
We should go watch him.
I don't got no fucking joke on eating ass. Oh wait,
You got a joke about eating Steph Curry's ass. What do you mean,
bro? Terrible combination. That was never my joke. Fuck, that's so creepy. If you say the combo together, you really got to put that comma. You really got to pause for that combo. You got to let that breathe.
Yeah, you got a joke about Steph Curry eating ass. What?
You can't really breathe when you're okay.
What type of lifestyle do y'all, bro? Comedians are so sick. Comedians are sick fucking people. If we can get free
comedians,
healthcare starting with our mental
comedians, are
health.
you not pointing the thumbs at yourself there, pal?
What's the next topic? I'm just open this.
Well, I guess if we need more on the fires, I think there's one more thing that we should bring up on the fires, which is that there was, I guess, a resolution on the ballot last year to raise the firefighters' pay to $5 an hour. That is something I actually saw on the Kardashian feed. And she said it was shot down last minute. I don't know what that means, but fuck y'all.
I appreciate it.
I don't like what, yeah, and I'm sure there were like political impetuses behind it, or impeti, but I can't, again, I can't understand them. I cannot understand the impeti.
It's kicked in, and now you saying shit like impeti, and that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I don't even know what's
the
a word.
impetus, the impeti, impetuses.
If I hear that in somebody's joke, we're gonna know where it came from. Impeti.
Yeah, Kyrie. Wish the fuck you would say impeti. I'm sorry, man. You didn't deserve that. I feel like this is how friendships end up broken.
That was broken down. Hopefully, I don't know if it'll be like back up for ballot. I think it sounds like Newsom can like push it through. Yeah. This would be a prime time to do some pretty quote unquote radical, I would say logical, but I would say the mass public radical stuff, like, because radical times are happening. So do some radical shit would be what I would say about that. I don't know.
I think radical is looking at like the insurance clauses for fire policies being pulled 3 months before. I think we have to look at what insurance companies are being allowed to do, because and I was just telling my little brother this, like, who has the ability to tug on the strings or on the coat of all these different insurance companies months before and say, hey, let no more fire policies in this area.
It feels weird.
Because this is about to happen. The environment is primed. If not, I mean, we can go intentional or not. I think the Diddy conspiracy theory is my favorite one.
I don't think we even have to.
I think that's my favorite one.
I don't even think we need too much thought on it. Listen. Capitalism is capitalism, and we understand that all of the businesses are designed to make their shareholders the most money. But for me, insurance can't be a capitalist principled business, because at its core, it's designed to take care of the people who are paying the premiums. If the people paying the premiums get less out of it than the people paying for the shares, we've screwed this whole thing up. That's not. I don't think that that's controversial. I don't think that that's super progressive, super woke. I think if the idea is, if an insurance company, like if a hospital, started to run itself based on what made the most money for shareholders and not what saved the most lives, we'd all go, this is ridiculous. And it feels like health insurance and insurance companies are additional arms of the same project. But they don't seem to have to give a shit. There's no Hippocratic oath for insurance people. There's no, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that
I don't think doctors are having to step in on some of this shit. What was that one article? The doctor had to like call. It was either Blue Cross or United, and he was like, I will fucking personally sue you if you do not approve this, because this person will die. Like a doctor, that's not their fucking job, but that's how lowballed all these. And it's not even just about like criminals in this particular instance. Not about, it is truly about victims of like across the board. Like my friend was telling me in LA, her home got robbed a couple months ago. They took $40,000 worth of shit, and the insurance company reimbursed her for 1.7. As in $1,000 and $1,700.
And see, that's what I'm saying.
Because they're like certain things have like a max. She was like, these are like family heirlooms, and she's not top 1%. Like this is her home that she bought.
Right,
like,
but here's the
her
thing.
first home that she bought, and they took so much shit.
Paid more than $1,700 in premiums.
Easily.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Easily.
She's. I mean,
that's how insurance works. Insurance works because of breakage, right? Like it doesn't get broken that often. That's why they have the money to pay out. This isn't a matter of them trying to save money because they're running low on funds. They not only have the money from your premiums, they also have money from shareholders who are investing in this process, who that money is just money. We can you have to use it. You don't have to do shit. You don't have to do anything. And if before you tell me what the regulations say, we have watched a man get convicted of 34 felonies, go into the courtroom and have the case effectively dismissed. But it's on his record. No one fucking cares. He went home with 34 felonies. I ain't got to get 3 to 4 felonies to not come home for a while. And you're telling me, well, it's because he got... No, it's not because of anything other than this entire shit is broken, and laws don't matter unless people enforce them. And the highest enforcement agency in the country is the Supreme Court, and they're owned wholesale by that purple orange motherfucker. Elon, like all of those guys were purchased. So no, I don't believe any of this is safe. I don't believe we're okay. And I think you're going to see a lot more Luigi Mangionis, because at some point, you know, you guys can go all Martin Luther King if you want to, but remember Martin Luther King Jr. also said that riots are the language of the unheard. And they asked him, what was it that America hadn't heard? They have not heard the voices of the people impoverished in the ghetto. They haven't heard the voices of people getting taken advantage of by insurance companies. They haven't heard any of the things that have been said to them directly for the last 12 years, and it's going to fuck everybody.
Yeah, and it's not just like deeply impoverished either. Again, this I would say my girl is in like
at this point now.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I would say my girl is, you know, not top 1%, but she's probably upper 50.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's in the upper half. To have, you know, 40K of possessions to be right. But like she's worked, she got in company smart. She worked her way, got picked up equity. Like just she worked really
Did
hard.
all the right stuff.
And regardless of whether you decide she deserves it or not, I mean, she's now in a group of people. This is not someone that would necessarily vote specifically based on her wallet, being like, I need more money. Where is the government supporting me with that money? And now, you know, she finds herself in the rest of the Luigi Mangionis.
She's Occupy Wall Street right now. She's like, this is some motherfucking bullshit.
You know?
I got
and she was
money
progressive
on Wall
as it
Street.
was, but like
but that will turn.
That's the level of unrest.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So I follow along with like astrology people and the community.
If you tie this into the zodiac signs, I'm gonna get really excited.
Full moon rising.
I don't mind.
I know you was a woo woo, bro.
I don't. So the reason I bring this up is pretty important, because they warned me of a fire many years ago when I was living in Hollywood, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. And to see this fire ravage the way that it did, and
you saying like you had a reading?
More prophecy wise, because it's not just mine. It was something that other people have done. Yeah, there's actually a guy that went viral on TikTok. He left Atlanta, went out to California, and warned them of natural disasters.
I don't trust anything that happened based on the way he said. You left Atlanta, went to LA, and started telling people what was going to happen there. I would have been, to be fair, I'm not saying he was wrong. He's probably 100% right. But that whole story would have made me go, fuck out my face.
And so
but he was right though.
He was right. And so the fire's still burning right now. People from the hurricane before near the Appalachian Mountains and all of that are still displaced. They also still waiting on their money. What did FEMA say? They was giving, like, was it $850 or something stupid, when we're talking about people whose insurance policies, the flood clauses was yanked, or the hurricane clauses was yanked, saying, oh, this ain't hurricane damage, it's flood damage. Oh, this ain't, flood damage, it's hurricane damage. So now we're looking at two sides of America fucked. And the crazy thing is that these people predict another thing.
And they lost electricity in Richmond. Like 40,000, 50,000 people in Richmond lost electricity for 3 days because of that little baby storm that just went through. Texas grid might go down again because they've had temperatures.
My building lost power on Friday.
Right. And so what we're doing every year,
their fault,
year after year after year after year, we're seeing these large-scale weather issues in multiple parts of the country that did not used to have. We know the Northeast is going to get snow. And one of the reasons I think you haven't seen more problems and more panic in the Northeast is because they're ahead of the snow. They know what to do when the snow is coming. That's why Chicago doesn't really fare too poorly when we get a heavy snow. We know what to do. But Texas don't know what
and
to do.
Atlanta. Right now, right?
Atlanta. And that's
Snow.
not a knock on the residents. People who say that, and you're like, why y'all talking about? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your government. I'm talking about the people who are responsible for using the tax money that they take from you. Because this is the thing. We can't keep identifying with these places that don't identify with us. So if I say Atlanta, I'm not talking about you who grew up in Atlanta. I'm talking about your mayor. I'm talking about your city council. I'm talking about the people who are abusing and using the money that you have to not fix potholes, to not take care of your infrastructure, to not build better ways for you to get around the city, even as they saw the fucking people booming and growing. They didn't build bigger highways, didn't build bigger expressways, didn't make the traffic any safer. Those are the people that I'm talking about. So don't take it personally. I'm talking about your shitty governments, because Chicago is dealing with the same thing. And that's the bigger fucking problem. Like, the whole country fucked up, and we elected a motherfucker who says we should cut back on these services?
Was there another... Was there another premonition? Because I'm curious as also is like
100%.
how
Oh, is
much
it gonna be
how
like
much of this
Chicago?
is how much of this is like
Wait,
spot
man.
on,
Yeah.
and how
Dead
much of
ass.
it? Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Like,
and how much of it is like global warming though? Do you know what I
Like,
mean?
you
Like
know,
also
no, it
people
is.
were looking at California like, yeah, this was bound to fucking happen, which is obviously insane.
What do you
given
think
that,
the
of course,
souls
it
of
did.
people who perpetuate global warming on a federal or international scale look like? If we talking about spiritual warfare and this is not a war of the flesh, what do you think their soul looks like if they would perpetuate millions of people being displaced?
That's why
So
so many people
the-
are coming back and clapping on that Kardashian post. By the way, they were like,
You private jet
Yeah.
flying bitch. You fly out the country when you want a snack. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do victim blaming because even
I'm not. I'm about to say, I appreciate her eyes on the issue of
Yeah.
incarcerated firefighters, and also
And
yes,
also,
and
plus,
I would
ground
so
your plane, you goofy bitch. That's what you trying to say.
I would
You can fly
be
commercial.
Very conscious and cognizant of our friends in the Northeast, all of our New York friends, because what happens is these emergencies are ones that you can't prepare for.
All of these years.
So we talk about like, or you can, but what happens? You can have sabotage, right? So LA's water was dried out. Municipality made cuts towards fire equipment, etc. So that exacerbates that situation. And so what we're going to see, according to these prophecies that have been right, is large amounts of people being displaced by water damage.
yeah, that sounds
In that area, and it's
Sounds
super
about right.
scary because of the amount of people there, the amount of friends and family we got there, the cultural ties, the blowback of what that means for our economy. Because what I was just telling my buddy, I called him up. I was calling on my LA buddies and Hollywood buddies that had cribs, and he was like, my house is safe, I'm good. And I was like, hey, you rent. What do you think happens when people who have $40 million homes, maybe they lost $40 million in equity, but they had like $5 million cash, now they're a renter? What does that change in the renter's market when BlackRock comes up and buys hundreds of thousands of square feet of land, or even,
whole apartment complexes? Why would I let you have it? I'm not letting you have that building. I'm going to go ahead and rent it out because I know that these people who just moved in have a different price range in mind. And if I can isolate them and make them feel safe in their community again, they'll overpay for these same units that you paying bare minimum for.
wash the rest away.
Wash the rest away.
one of the renters.
Did you see the Brentwood coverage?
Or like the live fire, and you talking about the fire tornado and shit.
When I saw their coverage yesterday, they had a firefighter in every backyard in the neighborhood to prevent the fire from escaping into the houses or into
That's happening in quite a few neighborhoods in California, specific ones.
Private.
very specific neighborhoods, right? And so again, and I don't, I'm not going to relitigate.
It's hard because
history.
we're a capitalist society. Money
Right.
pays for this
Money
stuff.
pays for the stuff, and that's the thing. Like, you don't want to relitigate history, but that's what Black Lives Matter meant. Was that my life is worth saving, as well as the guy who lives in Brentwood. And before you go, well, it's not a black or white thing; it's a money thing. Absolutely, it's absolutely a money thing, and there could be more than one thing that's true. You understand? Because Altadena is gone.
That's also why this relates back to incarceration, because it
Altadena
is a
didn't
money
have-
thing.
Right, because
It is a money
Altadena didn't
thing.
have somebody. They didn't have the fire department in the backyard, and that is the longest standing black neighborhood. Like, it's a historic black neighborhood in Los Angeles. It's like one of the first established by black people. There's old money there, old black money there. Well, it was. But the firefighters weren't there. And again, where they allocate their resources is fine. We don't have to argue that. But the reality is we have to stop pretending. And I don't know how this country decided that wealth equaled intelligence, morality, or any, because we literally are like, well, he's rich. He must know more than I do. So I'll let him do this thing that I can look directly at and see is fucking stupid. I'm looking at you do stupid shit, but I'm not allowed to say it because you're richer than me. I'm not hating. You're a fucking dick. Mark Zuckerberg said, hey, man, I'm going to make Facebook more like Twitter, even though you just watched the motherfucker buy Twitter for $44 billion and tank its value. So you said, I'm going to take my product and make it more like this product that now lost most of its user base. And when you see that, you can deduct maybe 3 possible outcomes. 1, he doesn't give a fuck about the brand at all. He already made the money he's going to make. He wants to control information. Very believable. 2, he's a fucking idiot. he's a fucking idiot and somehow thinks that Elon Musk has a really good plan. Or 3, neither of the two. He's just inept and doesn't really know what's going on. But one seems most reasonable.
He's about his money and his reach, and he's in their pocket. And by the way, the fourth outcome, I think, because I want to hear the rest of this water, is like with water comes locusts and frogs, and then Elon Musk takes your firstborn and names him R2 Dickhead.
He names you the sound that the internet used to
like
make.
These are the plagues. This is God's wrath returning to.
I could see a Cybertruck in a Mad Max scenario.
Didn't the Cybertruck just wasn't it involved in the Las Vegas bombing?
It was the dude who shot himself in
I think it was though outside the Trump.
It blew up, and the only thing that was left was a passport, right?
Well, it was a dude inside who apparently killed himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta pop out and kill killers. I'm sorry.
I want to hear
that wasn't right.
Well, so what happens is
R2 Dickhead wasn't exactly
what we're looking
either.
at is some of the most prime land in America being redistricted, or at least reallocated. So when you look at land, which is the most important in wealth, and passing it down to other generations, even being able to climb out of your class into the next class is super important. And if we're looking at land redistribution being sabotaged at this level, because when BlackRock come through, they're not spending the same amount of money, or they're not paying the same amount, or they're not using resources that are common
for other
people.
Your resources out so that the value of your home, you now feel like you have to leave. You're too annoyed to stay. So might as well take this
And also,
money.
BlackRock is responsible for making money and answering to their investors.
So they'll do what they need to do to make that happen.
What they're allowed to do. And that's what we have.
That's what we're dealing with now. And that's why when you're seeing this stuff with Musk and Meta and the Washington Post and Doge and Amazon.
Yeah, BlackRock will be
efficient.
Is
about that. 5 or 6 people who are going to benefit massively, and all they have to do is make sure that so does the president. If they do that, he gets the fuck out of the way. And I don't traffic in conspiracy. You can go back to any episode. You can go to any interview I've ever done. I've never spoken of a conspiracy. I'm just talking about logically that makes the most sense. That these guys who made these big public stances of supporting, if not Trump directly, the type of policy that allowed the misinformation to spread. They're absolutely, like, he's going on all of the podcasts. Zuckerberg on Rogan telling you that his platform
like same
needs
day.
To be,
he was in Austin already.
Has to be, my platform has to, right. He's moving all of the.
He gave that
from
speech and then
California
went on Rogan.
And then went on Rogan, right. So when you see this, it looks coordinated. We can pretend it's
it
not,
is coordinated.
But at some point you have to go, the thing that
He's
seems
wearing the
the
same
most
outfit.
logical, right. The thing that seems the most logical is the best explanation.
He had a
He's
fro and a
wearing the
gold
same.
chain.
He's wearing the same fucking outfit.
He grew his hair out and came to pop his shit.
He grew
I don't know if that's if that's just
crazy.
Whatever. The one other thing I wanted to add too that Ruben Ramirez pointed this out on Facebook. Shout out to Ruben because I didn't know this. Mexico getting involved.
Yeah.
They're like, yes, your shitty ass president doesn't recognize our country. Build the wall. They are sending planes. They're sending air support. They're sending supplies. They are looking out for their neighbor, no matter how much we disrespect them. And like,
see, that's what I meant.
That's just the crux of
Mexicans.
Humanity.
You seen they trying to go from Mexico to go from America?
That's just fucking. Come on,
that boy
man.
Trump didn't waste no time.
That's little dick energy, bro. That's what
That's what he's doing.
That's
bro, he's going around and jumping people into America. Greenland, Canada, Mexico.
Shut up, Greenland. You mine
Panama.
now.
That was
The Netherlands is like, the fuck you talking about?
Good. You see that the baby gif of him? You're like, I want it.
What the fuck is it? Like, you imagine you wake
Take
up and the
Canada.
motherfucker's like, yo,
Take Canada.
yo, let me get Greenland up off you, son.
It's
What?
the verbal colonialism we're not used to.
Yo, son, what size is...
Question, does Drake benefit if we annex Canada?
Does he become a real one because he's now a goon for one of America's largest cities? Toronto's a big city,
best
son.
face you made today.
You can't knock that. If Toronto is a big international city, and it is, then Drake becomes, as an American, inheritor of the American culture.
Okay, on a positive
LeBron
note.
from Akron. He ain't realer than Drake, son. Drake from Toronto.
Right now?
Yeah, son.
You tripping?
On a positive note, in addition to
you
the
gaslight
Mexican
me.
stuff, I
What the fuck
started
is y'all
this.
talking about? What the fuck are we Drake in the culture? What are y'all talking about?
I started this, and I'm trying to push through it.
He
It's my fault.
literally
It's my fault.
made a whole song where he just told on LeBron. He has a
I saw your
teenage
post. That's
LeBron
my somebody's
tattooed
gotta
on his
ask.
arm. Fact.
Bruh.
The teenage LeBron tattooed on his arm has the Irish jersey on because he was on a high school team, and the name of the diss track is called "Fighting Irish." You fucking weirdo grown ass loser! You. Why did you get that grown ass man tattooed on you? Then turn around and say, Savannah, I don't know if you know, but we used to be out. What? Get your messy weird ass out of here. Weird ass little boy.
Hey man, rest in peace, Teddy Ray. But Drake, you 36. Like,
what you mean you gonna go tell Savannah, oh, me and your man used to go out and get girls together and do two mans?
You weirdo.
Academics, you fucking weirdo whack job. Oh, y'all speaking on that man penis like that, and it's weird. What the fuck? You done came to his woman as a woman, weird ass little boy. What the fuck is wrong with you? Where's the code?
It's very upset.
How the fuck we get into it and now you going, well, Savannah, I don't know if you know.
No, time out. Why you say Drake came to Savannah, woman to woman? Shirley, this me.
What the fuck is wrong with dude? He weird, man. He weirdo.
Oh my gosh. We knew he was weird when he confessed his love to Rihanna on that award stage and she looked at him like, the fuck are you doing? That's not a big gesture you make if you don't know that the person is going to receive it well. You're not going to go in front of millions of people on a national national TV in front of a room full of all your peers.
That's Elon energy.
Yeah, so we knew something was weird. We knew something was weird for a long time.
That's also,
you know
to bring it right back to knocking us, that's some stand-up energy to get out here and be like, yeah, I killed that 5. Let me hit up Brianna. I killed that mic, though.
Hey, man.
Okay, that was well worth it.
That was, thank you, Kyrie. We got sidetracked.
That was somebody's got to ask. Look at us hitting all the agenda items. I do also want to add that through the darkest hours and most horrible times, humor and humans prevail. I sent my girl a text that had to evacuate her home, and she was like, yeah, I'll keep you posted the night if I don't turn into a s'more. I was like, look at this bitch. And I was going to post it, and then it looked like I was like making fun of the fire, so I didn't. But, much love to Casey and for everyone that's like finding a way to, I guess, just like survive through humor and joy. People are always talking to me about like, oh, is it so funny to teach yoga in jail? I bet you have so many funny stories. And what they mean is people are like separation of like, those are clowns and like, let me laugh at people. But what I always respond with, right, is that like nothing about jail is actually funny. Just like nothing about what's happening in California is funny. And yet humans will remain funny. We will remain like finding ways to manage pain, and a big part of that is humor. So we can, I'll knock stand-ups all day, but it's like knocking your family, right?
Hey,
we are still the people that are going to come forward and be like, we're going to figure out a way to get
We're going to find joy in this, man. Like it's funny because, thank you, by the way. I got a chance to work on new material on your show, and right after yours on Marcella's show Thursday.
Yeah, it was fun.
And we've talked about this before. I don't talk about prison much on stage. I don't talk about being arrested much on stage. It's not like a big part of my act. But recently I've been trying to, find what's funny about that. And every time I do, someone comes up to me after the show and says, hey, man, I really appreciate you talking about boom, 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 boom. I did 3 years. Or my brother did 7 years. And, man,
it's shocking how many people. I get one a show, too.
Mm-hmm. And so not talking about it then starts to feel like a disservice. And let me just be honest. If we're talking about prison in the abstract, prison is horrible every single second of the day. If we're talking about the day-to-day life of somebody locked, you are laughing a lot more than seems fair. Like because humor is how you keep insane, right? It's how we're diffusing anger. Imagine the roast where you not coming home. The dude doesn't have anything to lose. He don't give a fuck if you get mad and you ready to fight. We roasting until somebody get ready to fight or just walk away. Funniest things you've ever heard. You're dealing with people who, we keep talking about comedy as tragedy plus time. You're dealing with people who've seen and done some of the most tragic things and have spent a significant amount of time dealing with it. Maybe not processing it like they should in a healthy way, but they've dealt with it and they've looked at it from multiple angles. And now some of the funniest stories you ever gonna hear. Ali Sadiq has a joke about Mexicans wearing boots. And it's when he first came, the story is fantastic. Go find it. I'm not gonna retell it because the way he tells it is part of what makes it phenomenal. But there are a bunch of that type of person in prison where they're telling you stories, and by the time the story's over, you've laughed and the story takes 45 minutes. And they're telling you, so I pull out on the motherfucker, right? I'm like, this motherfucker like he in the Matrix. I'm like, the fuck? 45 straight minutes with high energy. This is comedy. People are getting paid big money to do these types of specials. And we were seeing that regularly. Somebody could sing their ass off. 2 or 3 of them got together and started to harmonize. Like the amount of talent, the things that you could do that you use to distract yourself. The dudes who wrote books while we were in there. The dudes who wrote poetry, who wrote music. The funny dudes.
I read a screenplay.
Wrote a whole, and so all of that happens in there, and I think we flatten ourselves, because every time I talk about it, I want to remind people how horrific it is, and I want to make sure that they never think that I'm trying to glorify anything that I've done. But the reality is, a lot of funny shit happened while you were there, and it's a lie to block it all out and be like, oh, man, no, every day was just, it sucked. Some days was dope. Some days were really fucking fun. Would I go back to do that fun? No. But there were days that you didn't want to fucking kill everybody. And, humanizing us that way to say, even in the worst conditions, we found ways, you know what I mean, to still enjoy ourselves.
That's we haven't gotten to this at all, like the arts and acts thing, and because I think, we've been putting on, and we've had other stories and things going on, but that Unlocked documentary that I was telling y'all about on Netflix, I thought one of the best representations of carceral life that I've seen in modern media. I thought it was about to be really like predatory and exploitative, and instead I felt like it was what I saw. Like, right. And I don't know have I mentioned this on the pod? I know we were talking about it, but I don't know if I've actually brought it up. But if you are interested in the work that we are doing and you have not seen that on Netflix, I didn't even know about it until like a month ago, and I sat down and watched the whole thing, and it's very good. It's about a Unlocked. Unlocked.
Look at me, guys. Unlocked.
It's about a 23-1 jail in
it's on Netflix.
Little Rock, Arkansas, and a sheriff that 23-1 is 23 hours in your cell and 1 hour a day outside your cell.
Yeah, that's what you get when you're on death row.
Well, these guys are in jail though.
Right,
like it's in passing. Some of them will be sentenced for life. They have a couple people in there like that, but in jail, which means many have not been convicted or sentenced.
Right.
And yet are in 23-1. And there's a new sheriff, or this sheriff decides to run this new program where instead of 23-1, he takes all the CEOs out of the tier, off deck, and puts them outside the door and says, run yourselves like a community. You have to follow the rules, but we're going to try this for 6 weeks. And if in 6 minutes you guys fuck up, like the guards are back in, right. Killing the program. But that's the idea of the experiment. So I obviously thought, again, that this would be really exploitative and really predatory, and that things would ensue. I think it's like 6 or 8 episodes. Highly recommend the watch. And honestly, like, shout out to the producers. I felt like overall, not only did they do a pretty representative job of at least what I see, right? Like, it's everyone has a separate experience, but especially dynamics.
That's one of the funniest things that you do. Is when you give us a really good opinion and then you go,
and then qualify it.
Hey man, I know y'all gonna try and ask me shit like, who gives a fuck what the white lady thinks? So you get in front of it by saying, that's just what I seen. I'm not gonna try. I'm not telling you that that's the only way to see. I'm just saying what I see matches what the documentary was about.
And it demonstrates a lot of that humanity. Like there's laughter, there's camaraderie, there's not camaraderie. Right. There's the dynamics of humanity. Of folks that are incarcerated, and folks, by the way, that have been on 23-1, which is like
it's permanent lockdown, effectively, because you can't. The hour starts you're already out. Like by the time you realize, oh, I've got to do something, the hour has started. You get an hour of fresh air. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I think we got to wrap pretty soon. But what else do we want to do? What do we want to hit? Arts, acts, thoughts, feelings.
I just wanted to shout out to all of the people power. So a ton of, like shout out to Mexico sending people. Shout out to all of the people who are organizing and donating and organizing the facilitation of the donations to people who are in need, because that is super amazing. I would love if anybody got information on how we can get involved, even from the Midwest. If somebody is transporting raw materials that we can.
You got to say that fast.
Yeah. Fuck. That pause
Somebody's
made it.
transporting
Fuck.
raw.
I didn't
Steph
mean
Curry eating ass.
Steph Curry eating ass.
Like,
It's
no,
crazy.
fuck, them pauses is whooping my ass, bro. If you don't.
That's a 4-shot situation.
Hi-yo.
So so just shout out, because like I seen people posting the resources and the different drives where people can drive through or do whatever, but also just shout out to the day-to-day people who are caring and getting involved, because all of those donations matter. I've seen a ton of people have GoFundMe go up because they need materials and they need stuff fast. So shout out to y'all, because I think that we are going to love each other quicker than the bureaucracy allow money to flow down.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't want to step on that. I think that's beautiful. I don't have nothing else to say. Fuck them people.
All right, let's talk tours and shows and things then that we need to do. I'll step on it. You're right. And shout out to Janelle in Chicago, who does some LA activation and organizing and labor union work. I went to her directly, and she's been sending money to individuals. So if you are in Chicago or you do not know, I won't put up her. You can hit maybe me up to hit her up. I won't blow up her spot. But I do think that's most impactful, and that's what she told me too. I was like, are there organizations? Should we be funding money or like funneling money through certain places if we're doing fundraiser shows and things? And she just sent me a couple individuals, which
hey guys,
people power.
Yeah, people power, yo.
People power. All right, when is Ask a Comedian next?
Yep, this Friday, January 17th. Ask a Comedian Friday. Doors open at 9. Show starts at 9:30. Has some amazing comedians coming through there. Tyler Fowler, Chelsea Hood. We got some amazing, like Diane Quarter, who's been telling jokes since Bernie Mac was around. So like we got some hitters coming through. So if you're around, pop in for that. It'll be fun.
Since Bernie Mac.
Yeah. She did a couple shows with bro. She did a few shows with him back in the day.
Hey, speaking of doing things with big comics, shout out to Corey Bell for touring. She's on tour right now as an opener for Cat Williams.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
That's great.
Last night was her first show. She's on the tour with her this year. So shout out to Corey. Hard work pays off. Corey is one of those people who literally manifests what she's trying to get. She wanted to open for Monique. Monique came to town. Corey made sure that she called in and got other people to call in to make sure that Monique knew she was funny. Corey then went out to the Improv, murdered it, and became Monique's opener for when she did her Vegas residency. She makes things happen and has the talent to back it up.
So was just on tour with Mojo Brooks.
Just on tour
Can I
with
also
Mojo
say
Brooks.
she's decent? Like Corey did not know me in one of my first sets ever at Laugh Factory. They had like a guest bartender, and I went up to get a drink, and the bartender was like, are you a micer or whatever? And Corey, before I could respond, walked up next to me and she goes, she just did a spot on the show. Why don't you know that? And I was like,
how are you not paying attention?
She don't fuck around. She fierce.
It was just nice. Like she didn't even know me. I didn't even know she saw my set. And I don't know, like it was just a protective thing of like,
Shout out to Corey. Congratulations on everything. We love you here over at Beyond Bars Podcast. And maybe one day you'll let us come open for you if you like the way that we do comedy or whatever.
By the way, she was a little bit more delicate the way that she said it than the.
She was like, "Hey, bitch, you ain't see her on stage, cuz."
She was just on the shit. She said what she said in a productive way.
She's nice.
Yes, carry on.
No, I wanted to get a shout out. I think I know that people like mess. You know what I mean? Podcasts love to bring up when somebody fucked up or who did what and who did who. And I'm often one of the people trying to find a reason to beat the shit out of somebody. So I want to make sure that occasionally I get shout outs when people do good shit too. Or whatever. Also, I got a show. I got a couple shows.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Yeah, January 29th, I'll be right here at the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago, Illinois. Stand Up for Palestine, a stand-up comedy fundraiser for Palestine. Ooh. It's going to be me, Osama Basal, Anji Kim, Deanna Ortiz. I'm not going to say Sorab's last name because currently I would fuck it up, but it's going to be a good time for a good cause. If you have an issue with me saying free Palestine, I don't know how you got this far into the podcast. Also have April, way out in April, but these tickets are moving, so you might want to get them now if you're coming. April 10th, 11th, and 12th, I'll be in Charlotte at the brand new comedy club at Duckworth's. April 10th through 12th. The links are, where to find fucking links. Don't make it weird. Dipset.
Damn, you want to be down with Dipset? You got to get your lips wet.
Want to be down with the king.
I run a new material show here at the Lincoln Lodge. I know.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
We don't have time. But I didn't like it. I want to say that. I want to go on record and say I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
We're sorry, Tyler. Did y'all know that Tyler is a 16-year-old intern? And he's using this horrible language.
No, he's not.
Fucking child labor. What the fuck are we, Apple?
We are so close to sponsorship. We are so close.
Sponsored by like all the child slave mines and all.
Yeah.
So
shouldn't Purdue
close.
Chicken down in Alabama be looking at us then? They love to have a little 9-10-year-old out there doing some work. We're not letting him cut his hands off. We fine.
I run a new material show at the Lincoln Lodge on Thursdays. 7 o'clock on Thursdays. We have all the best comics coming through, running new material when they're off tour in town, trying new stuff. That's every Thursday at the Lincoln Lodge. My LMAOF special drops tomorrow, Monday, by the time this episode comes out. It will also be out. Go see it if you want.
A lot of y'all have been asking about her OnlyFans. Here's your chance.
Someone asked, yes, and I put this on Instagram today. How much for nudes? 15 mil. You can't afford it. Okay, you can't.
Can't wait till Zuckerberg slides in your DMs. And
if you can,
fuck, who told him that number?
Let's make a deal.
15 mil is crazy.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is the podcast is gonna be amazing the next week.
Skip offered 1.5 in that lawsuit.
I feel like we should just buy this space to help the Lincoln Lodge out and just put something on the wall that says sponsored by Catherine's Gongware. That's what we go.
Catherine's Gongware. I really hate that for me. Wow, that's really good.
You gonna get that 15 mil? You put it out there.
You got to brand yourself to keep it moving. Keep money. She gotta have the LMAOF on her shoulder with the wing.
No.
The wings. It gives you wings.
But they did do a really good job producing comedy specials. They've got a bunch of good comedians on their page, NLFTV across the nation. So go check out everybody's. You can check out mine if you like. And then I actually have some headlining dates coming up myself. I'm in Janesville on February 6th. That is Janesville, Wisconsin. February 13th, I will be in Wilmington at Dead Crow Comedy Club.
Wilmington,
North Carolina. Yeah, on February 13th. And
that's by the base. That's the military out there.
Yeah. Great club. Love Dead Crow. And I think some people from Wilmington might listen to this. So
hey, Wilmington
please
people.
Shout out to
Wilmington. Come out
Dipset.
Because I secured a cute little one-nighter there.
Oh, I know someone who lives in Wilmington. I know a couple people who live in Wilmington now that you said that. Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, my Wilmington homies.
Come to see me.
go see Catherine.
Come see me.
She'll be there February 13th.
13th, and I think I'm forgetting. I have one more, but we'll figure it out by next week. What else do we need to say? I would also request that if you made it this far in the podcast, you do let us know if it is tenders or nuggets
it's definitely
for you.
Nuggies. It's definitely nuggies.
It is
or maybe you like boneless wings. Maybe you're like.
First of all, shut the fuck up. That's not a thing.
That's a thing.
Do not disrespect nuggets by calling boneless wings
100%.
Don't fucking do
nuggets are like some type of childish thing.
If you feel this strongly about it, then you have to accept the chicken man name.
I refuse.
Boneless wings.
Shut the fuck up.
Boneless wings are literally mature.
Boneless wings are for bitches, respectfully.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
See, y'all just gonna shit on fucking Wingstop and everything they built with boneless wings?
Yes, fuck Wingstop.
They built that shit brick by brick.
Yeah, and that's what it tastes like, a bunch of fucking bricks. Like they fucking sprinkle brick dust.
Well, that's because you should fucking be an adult and get a real fucking tender.
I'm an adult and I eat fucking chicken, actual chicken. I eat the thighs. I don't eat no fucking.
Get a fucking tender.
A boneless
not
wing.
tendies.
So fuck
Why did you put that voice? You put that voice behind nuggets.
Do you think a bird can fly with a boneless wing? No. Wings have bones, dog. That's what gives the wing structure.
That's why it's wing.
Fucking dare you.
Otherwise, nugget.
It's just a chicken breast.
But boneless wing, yeah. Okay.
It's not a real thing.
So tell us tendies or nugs.
Or boneless wings if you have a conscience.
And
Relax,
next week we can rate them. We can rate them, and I'll qualify all my choices.
You've eaten chicken on camera multiple times. How the fuck am I the chicken man?
They were your suggestions.
Oh my God! No.
Chicken Man. Chicken Man.
Chicken Man and his chicken heads are out.
What? What? Please, whatever.
I'm gonna send this clip to the NAACP. Ain't no way in the fuck Captain just called me Chicken
Always
Man.
in my face, talking this
One
and that.
time
Hey, come on,
I
Chicken Man.
accepted it is all I did.
Oh, Chicken Man
Give
and
me
his
an hour
chicken
and a half.
heads is crazy.
All right, man. So please play Chicken Head as the outro.
Boy, please, whatever.
Always in my face.